Mom's driving me and my brothers, who are 2 and 3 years old at the time, on Harbor Boulevard in Ventura. We're hit by a drunk driver. Mom is not seriously injured. My brothers, who were in the back seat, are not hurt. However, I was in the back well behind the back seat, so rendered unconscious for 10 days. Main problem with the optic nerve affecting the left eye. Fortunately, I am able to drive, basically locally. Problems with coordination and my voice. So even with the physical challenges, I was always in regular education classes. Elementary school was difficult for me, emotionally and socially, getting teased, for my voice being affected, walking with a limp with my weaker left leg and the left eye wandering. Got frustrated and annoyed in PE because I was always picked last for team sports, such as softball. And my art projects weren't that good with eye-hand coordination challenges, and even always being graded C's in art and handwriting. Now they don't even teach handwriting. Fortunately, I did get some occupational therapy as a child, a teenager, and even as an adult, which was helpful. I have had speech therapy at different times, also as an adult, and that's been helpful too. And then to make things easier on myself in PE in junior high and high school, I was in adapted PE, but I view that as different from special ed per se because it's non-academic. And it was non-competitive, which made it a lot easier. In high school, my high school PE teacher, who was also the swim team coach, encouraged me to join the junior varsity swim team. Proud to say, after the first year, I got the Most Improved Swimmer award for improving my time both in freestyle and backstroke. And graduated Oxnard High School in June of 1981, and then in September of 1981, I started at Cal State San Bernardino while living in the dorms. My first major was psychology. I changed that to human development to focus more on child development, which was more of an interest to help other kids like I had been helped. And so then after getting my bachelor's at the end of 1985, in 86, I started on my master's in education, also at Cal State San Bernardino. I was living with a family at the time that lived close to the college, so I would drive over for my afternoon and evening classes, and was also substitute teaching for a few years, elementary grades at San Bernardino City Schools. Then in one of my grad classes, a professor mentioned a game called the Talking, Feeling, Doing game by Dr. Richard Gardner. So light bulb went off. I realized I could create a game that deals with sensitivity training and focuses more on capabilities instead of disabilities. I first called it the Capable Kids Game. And even while I was substitute teaching, when I had extra time, I would use the questions I came up with the kids to try to refine it. Initially, it had 3 categories: emotion, experience, and imagination. All open-ended questions about different types of challenges. Some from a personal experience, such as an emotion card that asks, how would you feel if somebody asked, what's wrong with you? Well, I was angry when I was asked that and didn't bother to answer the rude question. A personal example of an experience card is, how would you feel if you went out to eat with a friend who is blind? And I went out to eat with a friend who is blind. The waitress asked me, what does she want to eat? I said, I don't know, ask her. And another example of an imagination card, and my hearing's too good with the vision problems, so this isn't one about me, but if somebody uses hearing aids and somebody yells at them, what would you tell that person? I'd say, speak to me normally, please. I could hear you well. And I was focusing on developing the game because I wanted to show people without disabilities that people with disabilities have capabilities too, and focus on that. So then the light bulb went off. Through lots of networking, I eventually got connected to Franklin at Franklin Learning Systems. Did games, and the networking is a whole different story that I call continuing to hustle with chutzpah. It's a story for another time. And proud of that. In fact, even with all the networking I did and hustling with chutzpah, when I was with the Ventura County Professional Women's Network, even got the Spirit of Networking Award after my first year. So I was glad to get connected with Franklin, and we refined the 3 categories I already had. We added a challenge card category. An example of that question is, how do wheelchairs run? Is it either mice on a treadmill, electric motors, or jet engines? And we worked together to put a board for the game, and one of the pictures on the board is of the man in front of the talking computer. The computer says, what do you want me to do now? So I was very excited when the game was published in the spring of 2002. Even though I initially called the game the Capable Kids Game, Franklin liked the heading I was using, the initial heading I was using for my motivational speaking that started in 1997, which is Call Me Capable, because that's more inclusive of all ages versus capable kids. So that's how the game became the Call Me Capable game. Proud to say it was published for 15 years through 2002 to 2017. And first publisher, Franklin, even sold it internationally, which was exciting, seeing some sold in England and Canada. So my dream came true of educating people in a fun way that people with disabilities have capabilities to relate to what Eleanor Roosevelt said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of the dream. Like I said, dreams do come true. Call me Capable, Carol.